This is Ken Carpenter welcoming you to the Bing Crosby Show, transcribed from Hollywood.
Moonlight becomes you. It goes with your hair. You certainly know the right thing to wear.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bing Crosby again. I'm here every night, you know, Monday through Friday, same time, same place. Glad you tuned in, and we have a few little items prepared for you, the first of which is After You've Gone.
After you've gone and left me crying, after you've gone, there's no denying you'll feel blue and you'll feel so sad. You'll miss the dearest pal you've ever had. There'll come a time when you'll regret it. There'll come a time, now don't forget it. Someday, when you grow lonely, your heart'll break like mine, and you'll want me only after you've gone, after you've gone away. After you've gone, left me crying, after you've gone, there's no denying you'll feel blue and you're gonna feel so sad. You'll miss the dearest pal you've ever had. There'll come a time, now don't forget it. There'll come a time when you'll regret it. Someday, when you grow lonely, your heart'll break like mine, and you'll want me only after you've gone away, so far away. After you've gone away.
Possibly it's no great secret that I'm currently appearing, or will soon be appearing, in a motion picture entitled The Country Girl. This is a somewhat dramatic piece with William Holden and Grace Kelly in the cast. Many people who've seen Country Girl, or who know the story and know about the part I play, which I must say is a somewhat unusual role for me, they've asked me how I ever happened to undertake such a part. Well, I tell you, I suppose it must be pretty apparent to anyone who goes to the movies much that throughout a career of around 60-some-odd pictures, I've always played one character, Bing Crosby. Background changed some, the scenery a little, but not very much. Songs were different songs, and the people I worked with were generally different people, but in all these pictures, I always played the same fella. And candidly, there seemed no great reason to do anything else. But when Perlberg and Seaton came to me with this Country Girl proposal, it was obvious at once that the old routine just wasn't going to do. That is, if I was going to do the picture, because Frank Elgin, my part, was a wholly different guy, and I must say that I had some serious qualms about my ability to accurately limn him. It was surely something I'd never tried to do before. In fact, I told George Seaton 2 or 3 times that I didn't think I could cut it. I even suggested on several occasions, a lot of fellas around town, a lot of fellas in this business, that I thought it'd be infinitely better choices. But George was firm. He was adamant with me. I think, really, he just wanted to see if I had guts enough to try. He told me, it made a great impression on me, that if I carried it off, I'd have done something of which I could really be proud. And you know, not many such opportunities come to a fellow like me. It isn't often that an aging crooner gets a crack at a great part in a great play with a wonderful cast, and most important of all, under the the sensitive guidance of a fellow like George Seaton. And so, though I demurred a little here and there and dug my toe in the carpet and simpered some, I finally saw the obvious merits of the proposal, and I took up the challenge. First off, I asked George to write me a biography of this fellow Frank Elgin that I was going to play in the picture. I wanted him to start right back at the cradle. Tell me about this fellow's parents, his boyhood, his friends, companions, who he ran around with, where he went to school, how he happened to get into show business, everything that ever happened to Frank Elgin before we pick him up in this play. Well, George provided me with quite a dossier on this boy. I read it over very carefully, and I read the play over several times. It's Clifford Odette's play. And slowly, but very clearly, a definite personality began to emerge. I came to know this fellow Elgin. I came to know his weaknesses and his doubts and his fears. I learned of his successes and his failures and thought I could discern some of the reasons behind them. I came to recognize in him a composite character of several men that I'd known. They were men not unlike him in many ways, and knowing their history and how they reacted in different situations, it was immediately apparent to me just what Elgin's reaction would be in similar situations. Matter of fact, I got real brave, real hammy. I even questioned some of the motivations in the piece. Sounds incredible, I know, but in a couple of instances I was actually right. And I was instrumental in some retailoring of the character and the way he was written. Well, now that we had Elgin card indexed and analyzed and blueprinted, well, the rehearsals began. First just George and I alone, and then with Grace Kelly and Bill Holden. I want to tell you, they were pretty thorough rehearsals. Now, 2 weeks of them, 10 hours a day, and this fellow Seaton just driving me like a top kick. I must confess there are times I got a little impatient. There were sometimes when it seemed to me that old George was picking lint. But I stayed in there, and I did like a good boy. Of course, I'd rehearsed for pictures before, you know, who takes the harmony on the second chorus, or let's all make together on the 8 bars lively and get off, stuff like that, but never no 2 weeks on dialogue and characterization and reactions and bits of business, where and how to spot a look or nuance or an expression that would help motivate the thing, tie it all together. And now I found myself beginning to see Elgin's relationship with the other two people. We had a lot of long discussions about the balance of each scene, about the moods and the tempo, and the pace that we're seeking to achieve. I began to see that while this play had great depth and greater emotional strength, we couldn't belabor the audience with the demonstration of it, but rather, if we could, let them extract it from how the characters acted and what they said and did. And here's where Bill Holden was a great help to me, you can be sure. This boy knows his business, I'll tell you. He's been over the jumps and through the field and knows his way around. And Grace Kelly worked so hard sometimes that she made me feel like I was dogging it. But actually, George Seaton was the fellow who pulled the strings, and if the thing comes off, he's the fellow that should get the kudos. Well, the day finally came when we dropped the flag and we were off and started to shoot. And this was the most difficult part of all, because now that I knew all of Elgin's weaknesses and his fears and what caused them, I had to forget them. Because although Elgin did certain things, he didn't know why he did them. They just had to appear instinctive. All the things that we had drilled so long on and so carefully, things that we had planned so thoroughly, the picture way, to be effective, they had to appear impulsive and come about suddenly and naturally. I guess this is where the thorough knowledge that I'd built up of the man, I guess this is where probably it came in handy, because each moment had to come about naturally. That is, naturally for Frank Elgin and not for Bing Crosby. Well, we had some rugged days, I want to tell you, long 8 or 10 hours at a stretch, sometimes on one scene with hardly a break for lunch. I must say I liked it. Never liked anything that I've done in show business more. Many nights I went home, I felt terrible about it. Felt convinced that what I was doing was just a great big nothing. But luckily, around a studio as big as Paramount, there's never any dearth of enthusiasm, manufactured sometimes, but genuine in other cases. When a picture is being made, people in the front office keep telling you from time to time how much they like what they've seen in the daily rushes. They seem sincere, and in any case, I was committed, and so I just had to go along and do my best, which I did. Curiously enough, it was over almost before I realized it. Maybe this is because we had such intensive preparation. And because, of course, I was tremendously interested in what I was doing. Well, that's about the way it happened. That's how a fellow like me got involved, playing a character like Frank Elgin in The Country Girl. Not anything of absorbing interest, but so many people have asked, I just thought I'd lay it out there. Now to a song. It's really the theme song of the picture. It's called The Search Is Through.
The flaxen hair, the tender voice, the laughing eyes gave me no choice, no more the doubt I used to face, no more the doubt, no more the chase. The search is through, you've got what it takes. There was no passing you by. In my who's who, you've got what it takes. The who, the where, the when, the why. One look and oh, no painting I know can equal your loveliness head to toe. At last the break, you've got what it takes. So easy to see, for all time to be. You've got what it takes to take me. The break, you got what it takes. So easy to see, for all time to be. You've got what it takes to take me.
And so we come to the end of another happy chore for this week. It's been most enjoyable. I hope that you have a fine weekend, and I hope, too, that I'll be seeing you on Monday.
Be sure to hear Bing Crosby transcribed from Hollywood again on Monday. This is Ken Carpenter wishing you a pleasant good evening.